Good Monday morning, everyone. This is Mo and Fryberto with Mornings with Mo and Fry on this January 24th. And let me mute myself so I don't hear me, because that's weird. Thank you, Eris, for doing the Modly Mod stuff all the time. And good morning. And Wolfram and Debbie W. for becoming a member. And Wolfram, thanks for teaching Fryberto to be a great house guard because he is now guarding the backyard from all the squirrels. Good morning, JKD Buck. I hope everyone is staying warm and cozy because it is ridiculous outside. At least in my neck of the woods, the roads are okay, but I know that is not the case for everyone, as evidenced by our first story. Again, do not speed in snow. If you have to go out somewhere, let's exercise some caution. Not that this person did. So let's watch the video. Oddly enough, for the first time in the entirety of doing Newsy News, the New York Post has the appropriate video on track with the appropriate news story. I think it might be the end of times. But yes, this jackwagon decided he was going to try to overtake a semi and plow into a plow. Now, my gentlemen viewers, and I love all of my gentlemen viewers, but I'm going to guess this wasn't a lady. But I am willing to be proven wrong. Let's read the article. There is no reason to speed during winter storms. New York Post, I'm going to start finding you for these puns. I really am. Chilling dash cam footage captures the moment when a driver in upstate New York crashed nearly head-on into a snowplow after trying to pass another truck. No. It's no, y'all. Just no. The plow was driving along a two-lane road, and it looks like they were coming up of a hill, too. When headlights appeared ahead with a black sedan riding alongside it, the passenger car, squarely in the plow's path, desperately tried to speed up and overtake the semi-truck. But it couldn't gain enough space in the slush and snow on a narrow roadway. That's when the sedan swerved, smashed its side, and the truck directly into the plow. Small pieces of headlights and black paint of the truck can be seen flying through the air. Wolfram says Fry will be better at guarding the house from squirrels once he completes his lightsaber training. I know, but he has to take, oh gosh, it's some sort of crystal, and he has to torture it until it becomes red to make his lightsaber red. I know I'm losing all my Star Wars nerd points because I can't remember what that crystal is named. I'll remember it in about 5 days, which will annoy me. I know it's not kryptonite, but it's some sort of, it's some sort of crystal. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the accident. Quote, note to self, do not try to pass when roads are covered in snow and slush, New York's Department of Transportation said on X. You would think that this would be some Kyber crystal. Thank you, Debbie W, for the win. I was like, I know it starts with a K, but it's not kryptonite. The things I try to remember in the morning of great importance. A spokesperson for the agency could not affirm where the accident took place, but said the video underscores the need to drive carefully during snow and ice conditions. Upstate New York was pummeled with snow this week as winter storms swallowed the state. The snow fell at a rate of 3 inches per hour in some areas, while others battled 15-degree temperatures. Winter weather advisories and travel bans were also put into effect throughout the area in anticipation of icy road conditions. So this guy was obviously a dill hole who had very important places to be, I am very sure. All of the importance. But getting there 5 minutes late when the roads are icy is much more important than putting, several lives at risk. And my watchers wouldn't do this, but Wolfram says yes, but kyber crystals are always difficult for the students. Darth Wolfram. Friberto, are you going to sleep in your bed? It really is the end of times. He has also managed to steal a blanket, so Fry is making himself at home. But he is liking his new bed now that he's stolen a pillow that he finds very comfy. In other news, Gizmodo brings us UC Irving students hospitalized after hackers sent disgusting images to their Discord server. Now, none of us would use Discord wrongly, I'm sure. True. Look, I wonder if you could just eat those things. God bless all of y'all that can do coffee. I just can't. And by the time I add enough sugar to it, it's really a milkshake. So, hello, Veilhammer Media and Irvine. Sorry. As we Duck Type and Holy Water Productions do apologize for the Midwestern accent that our associates sometimes fall into. Students walking on UC Irvine's campus, disturbing cyber attack on Discord reportedly sent some University of California Irvine students to the hospital on Wednesday, according to CBS News report. Hackers infiltrated student Discord servers and bombarded them with graphic images that reportedly traumatized students, causing them to cry, vomit, and even require medical assistance. Oh, dear Lord. So, less than 2 generations ago, 2 generations ago, we had children about the same age as these guys in U-boats going to Omaha Beach. And now sad and disturbing images are causing them to cry and vomit. Wonderful. Progress. I hate when I do that. Quote, there were some things on there that I just could not unsee. The student Alina Kim told CBS, very graphic, violent. Discord told Gizmodo it has removed the account responsible for the UC Irvine attack. Quote, our community guidelines prohibit the uploading or sharing of any material depicting real violence, gore, or animal cruelty, and we take action when we see this kind of behavior, including by removing users, shutting down servers, and engaging with the authorities, said Discord in an email statement. The UC Irvine students said the hackers hit other schools, including Washington State University and the University of Southern California. Gizmodo was unable to verify the other schools being hit. Discord has fallen victim to hackers in the past. In 2022, hackers hoodwinked the messaging platform by impersonating police email accounts and got the company to hand over user data. Yipes. Look, I personally, real full facts, no joking and seriousness. My biggest fear as, being possibly selected for jury duty is that I am going to be selected for a kid case. And look, the Gannon Stalk trial was hard enough without having to see pictures. Look, graphic pictures, real violence is terrible, but you're not there. I just can't understand how we went from 19-year-olds in U-boats, scared poopless, but still going up on that meat grinder of a beach, and now mean, disgusting images, hospitalized. For the love of all that is Cheetos, look, I get it. We've lived very comfortable lives, but adult underpants, pull them up. Life is hard. I hate to be the one to tell you, get a helmet. Look, if you become a parent and your kids are accident prone, you are going to see some blood and some grossness, okay? It just is what it is. No lie. In very important news, if you like coffee, Dunkin' Donuts apparently discriminates against the lactose intolerant by charging more for non-dairy items to add to coffee. The outrage. I am just, for the love of all that is holy, how could they? A $5 million class action federal lawsuit accuses Dunkin' Donuts of discriminating against the lactose intolerant by charging extra for non-dairy items such as oat or almond milk. That's because that crap is expensive, you ding-dongs. JKD Buck says a former coworker was a juror in a trial where a guy did that to his own daughter repeatedly. She said while she helped the girl get justice, it was hell listening to the girl testify. Yeah, that's my big fear. So I understand that, not being prepared to see something gross and graphic could be terrible. But for the love of all that is holy, look, if 2024 would produce puppies and crayons, I would do that. I am looking for more positive news sites. So if anyone knows like Good News Daily or something, or anything that has like puppies saving cats, I do have a couple. Good morning. I try to sprinkle in some well, I mean, they use crayons, but I don't know that that's appropriate. Besides, I still have to think of my mental health too. The lawsuit claims that the donut shop is violating the Americans with Disability Act by charging up to $2 for the item. It does not charge for the regular milk additions. Quote, the non-dairy alternative surcharge, it has real and practical consequences for consumers suffering from lactose intolerance and milk allergies. There's a very simple way to fix this. It's called make your own damned coffee at home. Has anyone thought? I have just solved a world problem. Would you please make me your leader? I'd like to be called Empress Mo of the Pettyverse, if you will. A consumer will pay at least 50 cents to $2.15 more for a coffee-based drink at Dunkin' for non-dairy alternatives. Non-dairy alternatives, which do not contain lactose, are medically necessary for individuals with lactose intolerance and milk allergies. For those persons, the use of non-dairy alternatives is not a choice. The lawsuit claims that the extra charge is not justified because the price of non-dairy alternatives is not significantly higher than dairy milk, and that Dunkin' employees do not have to do extra work to supply customers with the different items. Milk allergies are considered a disability. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, excuse me. I am so sorry. I usually don't curse unless I, say I'm going to have a cursey stream, but milk allergies are considered a disability. Look, I had to actually break my leg and have a considerable nerve condition before I can get the paperwork to get one of those little, handy capable stickers for my car. The hell milk allergies are going to get my special spot. Nuh-uh. Keen Observance says lactose intolerance is a disability now. Yeah, I guess no one's working anymore. Farrell will be clipping this soon. The ADA requires that, quote, public accommodations shall make reasonable modifications in policies, practices, or procedures when modifications are necessary to afford services, goods, facilities, privileges, advantages, or accommodations to individuals with disabilities, the lawsuit said. More importantly, the ADA provides that, quote, a public accommodation may not impose a surcharge on a particular individual with a disability or any groups of individuals with disabilities to cover the costs of measures such as provision of auxiliary aids, barrier removal, alternatives to barrier removal, reasonable modifications in policies, practices, or procedures that are required to provide that individual or group with non-discriminatory treatment required by this act or part of this act. The lawsuit reads, for the love of all that is holy, no. All 10 of y'all are dill holes. A total of 10 plaintiffs, all with milk allergies from California, Hawaii, and New York. My shock, are named in the suit. Attorney Bogdan Inica, who is representing the plaintiffs, told NBC News that more than 50 other people have requested to join the lawsuit after he filed it on December 26th. Yeah, Boxing Day. Wonderful. One of the plaintiffs, Chelsea Garland, said she joined the lawsuit because she feels like the extra charge is unjust. Yeah, you and Rosa Parks, right here, fighting for freedom. For the love of all that. This is the new civil rights. I need my oat milk. Give me my cashew juice. My almonds must be milked. For the love of all that is flippin' holy. You know what? I rarely, when I go out in public, I try to hide all of my lidocaine patches. I try to, make sure that people don't notice my limp. I make sure that people don't notice my ID, my medical ID bracelet. It looks like just a regular bracelet because I don't want to, look or make my issues my identity. What the hell is wrong with people? So you can't drink milk. Make coffee at home. If you are so irritated, I am beyond done. We're not going to bubble wrap society anymore. Y'all need to figure something out. It's called put your big girl panties on, all of you. Buckle up, wrap yourself in bubble tape, and just deal with the world because I'm about done with it. But that's my take on it. I just cannot for the life of me. Here's hoping after that story. Ancient zombie virus trapped in Arctic ice could unleash a deadly new pandemic. Please God. After that, it's a quote tangible threat. Sure. Okay. You can make your own almond milk. I mean, they have bags. You can make your own almond milk. You can make your own cashew milk. You can make your own oat milk. I don't understand. I don't care. Again, look, the world is the world. It's not going to accommodate you. You have to figure things out. And whining is what toddlers do. The melting Arctic permafrost could unleash an ancient zombie virus and trigger a catastrophic global health emergency. Anything that brings on Brad Pitt running from people, I'm kind of okay with at this point. Zombie virus for president 2024. The only choice that makes nonsense. Quote, we now face a tangible threat and we need to be prepared to deal with it. It's as simple as that. Geneticist Jean-Michel Calvert, professor emeritus of medicine and genomics at Aix-Marseille University, told The Guardian. Experts are already working with the University of the Arctic, an international education and research cooperative, on establishing a monitoring network to help identify cases of diseases caused by the ancient microorganisms early on, before their spread can spiral out of control. Hey, me and Bigfoot have decided to run. We are the only candidates that make nonsense. I promise to disband the Federal Board of the Federal Education. No federal education system. Not going to happen. The man butchered the Reagan quote and a lot of things. Fry, why are you such a... Every time I think I have you in frame, you're like, no, mommy, I is out. The network would also provide quarantine facilities and medical services for those infected to help minimize a potential outbreak, including preventing contagious patients from leaving the region. Look, y'all, I saw The Thing and the remake of The Thing. Y'all don't know how to do any of this, and we saw how you handled a coof. I'm not leaving you in charge of nothing. I wouldn't even leave you in charge of my CVS extra long receipt with, a possible coupon on the end. So-called Methuselah microbes, known as zombie viruses, are capable of remaining viable for tens of thousands of years, encased in frozen soil, and running for Congress, which covers nearly 20% of the Earth's northern hemisphere. Quote, the crucial part about the permafrost is that it's cold, dark, and lacks oxygen, which is perfect for preserving biological material. I mean, ask Nancy Pelosi's first husband. Allegedly. I know she doesn't have a first husband. It's a joke. Quote, you could put a yogurt in permafrost and it might still be edible 50,000 years later. You'd be the first to take that bite, sir. I'm gonna let y'all try it first. Scientists believe the deepest layer of permafrost could be preserving viruses that inhabited the Earth up to 1 million years ago, long before humans' most ancient ancestors, who it is believed made their first appearance on the planet some 300,000 years ago. Modern humans would therefore have no natural immunity against prehistoric viral invaders. Our immune systems may have never been in contact with one of those microbes, and that's another worry. Cavallari told the outlet, the scenario of an unknown virus once infecting a Neanderthal coming back at us, although unlikely, has become a real possibility. I don't know. This looks kind of normal for me. I mean, it still seems like maybe we shouldn't be messing around then with the permafrost, but I don't know. Jurassic Parks, we're going to Jurassic Park. The prospect of ancient viruses escaping their icy prison in the most remote regions of Earth and kicking off a new global panorama sounds unlikely, but virologists believe there's at least some room for concern. Y'all have been screaming your heads off all the last 4 years. I'm about done with y'all screaming. I'm gonna put you in a cry corner, okay? I will turn this earth around and make you be quiet. No one's getting frosty. Quote, we don't know what viruses are lying out there in the permafrost, but I think there's a real risk that there might be one capable of triggering a disease outbreak, say of an ancient form of polio. Virologist Marion Koopmans of Aramis Medical Center in Rotterdam told the outlet, we have to assume that it's something like this could happen. Well, again, I say promises, promises. You never do what you say you're going to do. I say we bring back Betty White. If we're gonna rehab anyone, I want Betty White back. I want the guy from, Ernest, Vern Turney back. I want all of for the love of all that is, I can't with these people. In more positive news, and from Debbie W., it looks like Washington might give every kid, lunches just as access to free, good food. And I love this idea. Look, I know that my school, or my kid's former school, went all cray-cray about my kids putting in, basically fooling the system so they could get lunches. But I know that there are a lot of kids in my neck of the woods that have parents that are struggling with addiction or struggling with things and can't or are not able to give them the food that they need. And I would love this to be something that we could do. Honestly, I don't mind paying taxes for this. Free food Our free school meals bill introduced in Washington State House. A bill to provide free school meals to all students in Washington state who request one is being debated in Olympia. The legislation, Washington Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act, was introduced last week by Senator Twinda Nobles, a Democrat from Faircrest, and Representative Marcus Rosselli, a Democrat from Spokane. It would require all schools to provide a free breakfast, lunch, and would define school meals as part of basic education. Quote, access to nutritional food is a key component to health and well-being of children, said Rosselli. Hungry kids can't learn, and by providing meals to any student who wants one, we're taking an effective and meaningful step towards ensuring that children won't go hungry in our schools. Schools would be required to provide free breakfast and lunch to any student who requests one, which the bill's sponsors say would remove social stigmas around existing programs by extending the same option to all 1.1 million students equally. The state superintendent, Chris Reykjadal, talked last year about pushing the state legislature to create a free school meal program, requesting an additional $86 million a year in funding as a step toward providing universal school meals to all Washington students. Now, here's my issue with this. I want to know how much the state superintendent is making. I want to know how much all of these administrators in the bureaucracy of the school are making, because a lot of this money goes into the sort of bureaucracy of schooling, and then it doesn't trickle down to the teachers. It doesn't go down. And I really hope that this bill doesn't get tacked on with ticky-tacky things that is going to kill it. But a lot of these bills get tacked on with stupid stuff, at least in my experience from what I've watched of the C-SPAN kabuki theater that is our politicians anymore. If approved, the funding would be able to provide 21.5 million more lunches and 500,000 more breakfasts. I pulled a Griffin. To those, to the 330,000 K through 12 students that experience hunger but whose families do not qualify for food assistance under the current guideline. The amount of students eligible for meal waivers in Washington state continues to rise. People are really struggling, so I don't have a problem with this. What I do have a problem with is how much money goes to the top administrators, how much of this money is lost. If you watch Actual Justice Warrior, if you watch any sort of people that go through the COOF, fraud, so much money was wasted. So much money could have gone to actual good things. And it really ticks me off that we still have kids that are struggling. And I really hope that this, just goes through as a clean bill and people can just let it go through and these kids can get fed. I'm fine with that. In my neck of the woods, this man this is toxic masculinity. Well, holy cow, this man just saved his life with some masculinity. Indiana man describes surviving 6 days trapped in wreckage with an injured leg that would have to be partially amputated. Mario Garcia and Nevardo de la Torre discovered Matthew Room in a mangled truck under an interstate bridge while looking for a place to fish. Now the three stay in touch almost daily. A man who survived 6 days trapped in a pickup truck that veered off an Indiana highway and came to rest under an overpass unseen recounted the factors of his survival while vowing to cherish a new chance at life. Matthew Room, 27, was discovered trapped in a mangled truck in a shallow creek in Portage, Indiana on December 26th. So he is up near there's a little cutout right on the northwest part of Indiana, right about near Chicago. So he's right up there, right near Chicago area. Now, do not move up there. Because it is sort of a bedroom area of Chicago, the prices for house and stuff are ridiculous. Mr. Moe was born there, and holy Jesus, the the houses, like, for a small house, it's ridiculous. Paid for by Valparaiso Tourist Committee. Not. No offense. It's a lovely town, but it's just really, really expensive because it is so close to Chicago. People live there to commute. On December 20, or in Shallow Creek, on December 26th, by a man and his son-in-law who are looking for a fishing hole along Interstate 94. Rushed by helicopter to a trauma center, Room was in life-threatening condition. He had suffered a broken hand, a broken leg, and ultimately had the other leg amputated above the shin, he said. While Room, a journeyman welder from South Bend, is embracing life with a new perspective. Quote, I get in the helicopter, my brain is like, you've made it, you're alive, he said in an exclusive interview after his release from the hospital. It still took me a couple days, even after that, to realize the full reality of everything, you know. He was headed from Hobart, Indiana to South Bend in fog and was hoping to have enough time to attend a friend's funeral the next day, he said. He swerved to avoid striking an animal, possibly a deer. Those a-hole deers, every single time it's an a-hole deer. They hate redheads. I have put it together. Look, this man has red hair. I have red hair. Deer attacks. Do not have red hair. In Indiana, the deer don't like you if you have red hair. And the vehicle was quickly on the interstate shoulder before it descended off the roadway into a shallow creek below, overturning along the way, according to Room and first responders. Quote, shortly after that, I blacked out, he said. And then when I came to, I was kind of like where my truck has sat for 6 days. Room said he relied on his readings and experience as a recreational outdoorsman, noting he learned so-called survival rule of 3. Humans can generally survive 3 minutes of breathing without 3 minutes of breathing, 3 days of water, and 3 weeks of food. Nonetheless, his thoughts turned dark, and he did attempt self-deletion. Quote, there was just a voice in my head of my best friend just saying, stop, he said. And you know, it's something I don't wish on anybody to ever have to go through a situation like that. Without access to water in his trapped position behind the vehicle, he used his sweatpants to funnel rainwater from his vehicle's sunroof to his mouth, and it was enough to keep his body going. Oh, thank you, Sarah Adams. Thank you for being a member. Let's see. Quote, I didn't eat anything, he said. I would basically suck the water out of my sweatpants. He had a watch and a phone with a crash notification technology, and a trailer park was nearby. He could hear voices in the distance as the highway hummed, he said. Room said he screamed and yelled for help so loudly he was surprised he didn't lose his voice, but it summoned only more isolation. Dark winter days blended so well into the night he couldn't tell one from the other, and he wasn't fully aware he'd been trapped for 6 days. Then along came Mario Garcia and his son-in-law, Nevardo de la Torre, who, using the day's last minutes of sunlight to scout for fishing holes as their wives were out, and they were looking for adventure. I mean, everyone always goes fishing at nighttime. The metal of Room's wrecked vehicle gleamed and drew them nearer. Quote, I was a little nervous, but I went to look inside, and that's when I lifted up the airbag. I seen the shoulder and the body right there, Garcia said. You can tell he's from Indiana because he said, I seen. Look, it's what happens. Thank you, Phoenix Fire, for being a member for 1 month, and good morning back to you. I hope you are all staying warm. True, they do. I just usually, I'm an early morning person, so I'm like 4 a.m., okay. 8 p.m., that is bedtime. I am not wearing a bra after that. No, no. But he touched Rem and the body moved. When they showed up, Rem thought he was hallucinating. Garcia and De La Torre joined Rem at an interview with NBC News, confirming what happened when they first made contact under an interstate overpass. The first thing he mentioned, "Are you real?" Garcia said, quoting Rome, "or am I dreaming?" You know, he couldn't believe it. The pair said they immediately contacted first responders, but even after rescuers rushed to the scene, it took hours to free Rem from his mangled, hard-to-reach truck, authorities said at the time. "That young blood, you know, he was just smiling," Garcia said. "Anyone else would be hurting because they lost a limb or something, but he was just so glad to be alive." The three have become fast friends and keep in touch daily, they said. "It's always amazing to see them," Rum said, "and I don't think that even in 20 years my thoughts on that'll change." Garcia chimed in, saying, "I think I got another son I got to keep an eye on for now." Rum said the amputation will present new challenges, and therapists are helping him relearn how to do basic tasks like getting in and out of bed or preparing a meal. He'll have new skills to go along with his new friends who are like family. Yeah, I'm not upset about this at all. Now, this is a good story. I am glad that he was found. I am glad. And I did want to highlight this because we did talk about it. If you are struggling, look, I know the last couple years have been, look, a kick in the ever-loving tits for most people. There are people that you can reach out to. There are websites. Don't end things because things are bad now. Things will always and can always get better. So please reach out. Make that choice. Don't leave your family. Don't leave anyone behind, okay? So please reach out if you're having a rough day. And in the bestest news, and our last, or no, we're going through stories quickly today. Good girl. Officer enlists a Michigan man's dog to help rescue him from an icy lake. Let's see if we... Why won't I get sound on this for you guys? I don't know. Let me see if they get to the doggo bit. Oh, they take the doggo goes out. Go get him. Good puppy. Oh, look. That puppy gets all the cheeses. She gets her own package of cheeses. And the name is Ruby, so let's see. Traverse City, Michigan. A man fell through the ice. I only speak one language. Baker speaks like 5, and I can't even manage English on a good day. I am such not a genius. I will do that next time. Thank you. A man fell through the ice on a frozen Michigan lake and was rescued after a quick-thinking state police officer used the stranded man's dog to get rescue equipment to him and pull the man to safety. Bystanders called 911 on Thursday after the 65-year-old Traverse City man fell through ice-covered Artemis Lake. Look, I'm sure it's something else and I just mispronounced it, state police said. The body camera worn by Michigan State Police motor carrier officer Cameron Bennett. Could you have a longer, more pretentious name, sir? Michigan State Police motor carrier officer. What the actual schnell? Well, Fry's been up since 4. Fry actually, my alarm clock goes off at 4, and then Fry is like, "It is time to up." Showing the man trapped in frigid waters with his head and shoulders above the thin ice, his dog standing at his side. It shows Bennett first trying to throw a rescue disc tethered to a rope out to the man. When it fails, Bennett asks the man to send his dog to him. "Can you send your pup here? Will she come to me?" he yells to the man, who replies that his dog's name is Ruby. "Ruby, come here," Bennett shouts in the video before whistling for the canine, who comes running to him and arrives tail wagging. The officer ties the rescue disc to the dog's collar and asks the man to call Ruby back to him. When she returns to the owner, Bennett tells the man to take the disc from Ruby and start kicking his legs. "Bring your feet to the surface by kicking your feet," he yells, pulling the man onto the lake's icy surface, urging him to hold onto the disc as he keeps pulling on the rope, dragging him onto safer ice near the lake's edge. Bennett's and local firefighter are then able to grab his arms and complete the rescue, with Ruby still attached to the rope. State police said the man was taken by ambulance to the hospital for treatment and later released. The agency cheered the rescue in a posting on X, praising Ruby in particular. "She's such a good girl." What a good girl. Amazing ice rescue from 7th District. MCO Bennett's creative thinking helped saved a life. Excellent job, MCO Bennett and Ruby, the tweet states. Great teamwork, well done. Fry's like, "I could do that too, but I just choose to be asleep now." Show off. In douchey news, it's the douche of the day. God, sir, you have resting douche face. You should probably not do anything terrible. Family and friends of slain Rust cinematographer respond to Alec Baldwin's new indictment. Now, I don't know why this is such a surprise. The attorney, look, the prosecuting attorney basically told everyone, look, if more information comes up and, it shows that this wasn't an accident or he deliberately did something, it would seem that you can still be charged. An attorney for the family and co-worker of slain cinematographer Halyna Hutchins and her clients welcomed the upcoming criminal trial of Alec Baldwin after a New Mexico grand jury charged the actor with involuntary manslaughter for his role on the deadly shooting on the set of the movie Rust. Now, there's a lot of problems that he's going to have because he was a producer. This production company cut so many corners. They had an inexperienced armorer. They were allowing, live ammunition anywhere on set. And for this bloviating blowhard of the Cenk Uygur variety, which, means like, if I disagree with you, I will just shout louder and harder rather than, have a point. For a man that goes against the Second Amendment all the time, be the heck quiet, okay? They did a lot more testing on the firearm and realized that you would have to manually manipulate this particular weapon for it to shoot. It could not have done the crime itself. It wasn't like a raging SUV that drove itself through a parade. Could we stop with naming inanimate objects? Could we just say that a person did it? Y'all remember when Waukesha happened and it was like, or Kenosha, and it was like SUV attacked parade. And I'm like, that's interesting. Those escapes. What the heck? Our clients have always sought the truth about what happened on that day. Halyna Hutchinson was tragically shot and killed on October 21st, 2021, read the statement released Friday by the Office of the Attorney General, Gloria Allred. They continue to seek the truth in our civil lawsuit for them and would also like there to be accountability in the criminal justice system. We all know the story. So the Friday indictment signed by Special Prosecutor Carrie T. Morrissey marks the second time Baldwin has been charged in Hutchins' death. Santa Fe County District Attorney Mark Carmack Altways filed involuntary manslaughter charges against the actor-producer and the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed. However, when that particular district attorney stepped down from the case and Morrissey and Jason J. Lewis took over as special prosecutors, they dropped the charges, saying there were new facts that demanded further investigation. Now, Gutierrez Reed is scheduled to face trial February 21st. That is a case that we might watch because I can't imagine. Look, she peddled on her dad's name. Her dad was a famous armorer, and I've seen some of her TikToks. And look, young people can be responsible. Young people can take over and be just as good as people with experience, but this woman wasn't. This woman was terrible at her job, and she didn't do a good job. The set was chaotic and ridiculous, and people were so afraid of safety issues, they were threatening to walk off. So you had a meeting the prior night where half of the crew was like, we are getting ready to leave. So you already have Alec Baldwin in a terrible mood, and we know he's a bloviating dill hole. So if Helena Hutchinson kept asking him, move this here, move this here, move this here, look, to me, even if he thought it was a blank, I don't see it to be very far for a bloviating douche Magoo to, want to pull the hammer back and other things. Allred represents Hutchins' parents, Olga Solvay and Anatoly Andrasovich, and her sister, Svetlana Zimko, in a lawsuit filed last year that alleged battery and negligence against Baldwin and other producers and members of the production who have denied wrongdoing. Aldred's clients includes Rust script supervisor Mamie Mitchell, who is also suing Baldwin and others connected to the Rust production. Hutchinson's husband and son previously sued Baldwin and the film's producer in New Mexico. That lawsuit was settled in 2022. Now, that lawsuit is kind of interesting because they did basically negotiate for certain monetary kickbacks, if you will, or profits, but profits on the back end should Rust ever come out. So they're like, look, we will give you all these points. And look, I don't know how Hollywood maths, but all of this stuff. And, if we make this movie, no one wants to see this effing movie. This movie is cursed. Give the family the money and stop trying to make this movie. Stop. No one wants to see your dumb face, Alec Baldwin. Just stop. The grand jury has decided there's sufficient evidence to indict Alec Baldwin on the charge of involuntary manslaughter. Added the statement from Allred. We're looking forward to the criminal trial, which will determine if he should be convicted for the untimely death of Helena. If convicted of the fourth-degree felony, Baldwin would face up to 18 months in prison. Now, I doubt he's going to get that. Baldwin has denied wrongdoing and cited the actions of other crew members for causing the tragedy. We look forward to our day in court, Baldwin's attorneys Luke Nickus and Alex Spiro said in a statement in response to the new indictment. Now, here's the thing. Had he just been a decent human being and maybe, stopped this movie, said this is a terrible thing, instead of acting like a total and complete other, piece of feces in a human suit, then maybe people wouldn't be so ready to see him, follow his puppet doppelganger in Team America. Look, if you really don't like Alec Baldwin, watch Team America, World Police. He gets a very fitting end in that movie. It's the most hilarious thing it is the most hilarious movie ever. Yeah, it's just keen observant. After the unaliving, he went home and made another baby, then posted it. How gross. The widow doesn't even have a wife to make more children with. Sarah Adams, he is on record with a child that he had with Kim Basinger, calling her a stupid stuck-up pig, and I think the C word, for not backing him in an argument or something. They had it look, he is well known for being a hot-headed dill hole and having the social graces of Cenk Uygur on, roids. So he is he might have been at one time the best looking Baldwin, but he definitely isn't the nicest Baldwin. I think the blonde Baldwin who does the Christian movies might be the best one right now, but I don't know. Look, I don't Christian movies have about the same 5 people in them every movie, so and then in a Mo move, look, I'm not saying that this would happen to me, but I feel I feel a little kindred spirit with a stepdad, so I hope he doesn't get charged too badly for this. Well, not this flying leap dill hole. I hope he gets charged all the things for that. California court plunges into chaos when stepdad lunges at stepdaughter's convicted unaliver. A convicted killer was allegedly lunged at and punched in California courtroom during his sentencing for stabbing his girlfriend to death nearly 4 years ago. Um, Look, y'all, the first thing I will do as president is if you are fully convicted and like we know that you did it, I think we should allow the victim's family like a 2-minute penalty free sort of, time period to just looky-loos, just like, I don't know how it happened, cameras turned off, because I'm getting a whole lot sick and tired of the criminals having more rights than the victims. But that's allegedly in Minecraft, and I don't know how my presidential campaign is going to go, but I'd send them all to Snake Island. Aaron Balbuena, 33, was sentenced to 33 years to life in prison. So you made it one more year than Jesus and you couldn't do anything with your life other than unaliving your girlfriend, you piece of dung with corn kernels in it. 31-year-old Ziaro Pentino Treo, Ventura County District Attorney Eric Nasacreno announced Thursday in a press release. Y'all, we need a translator. We need to turn this into Midwest. Everyone's going to be Smith. I know. But if it's like completely, we know you did it, I'm just saying, like, if it's like a Letitia Stalk situation, I say 5 minutes alone, like we didn't see nothing, y'all. Allegedly in Minecraft. But then again, I'm probably not going to be president. According to the Ventura Star, citing Joey Batista, a spokesperson for Ventura County District Attorney's Office, a brief altercation happened as the emotional victim impact statements were read in a court. Batista said that Patino Trejo's stepfather lunged at the convicted unaliver and landed at least one punch. Look, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm not saying I would be doing agility training if that happened to me, but agility training, like y'all would see me skipping some jump rope. It wouldn't be cute. It wouldn't be good, but authorities said the unexpected attack came while the victim's mother was giving a heartfelt statement. Photos released by Ventura County District Attorney's Office showed Balbuena's reaction from the attack. The stepfather was removed from the courtroom following the attack, the local outlet said. The district attorney said Balbuena was sentenced following the brutal attack on February 27, 2020. Officials said the 33-year-old and Patino Trejo were in the middle of an argument inside their Sim Valley, California apartment when the victim's mother arrived at the couple's shared Sim Valley, California apartment. When Patino Trejo noticed signs of more abuse on her daughter's face, she attempted to leave with her, but Balbuena would not let her out of the apartment. Authorities said that Balbuena grabbed a kitchen knife and started swinging it at the victim's mother. Police said he successfully slashed her twice in the head before turning and stabbing Patino Trejo. Okay, this dude deserved like at least a couple. Snake Island, fully nude, covered in dead rats. That is my sentence. Because authorities said that Balbuena stabbed his girlfriend, Patino Trejo, more than 30 times with several knives. Patino Trejo's mother managed to escape the apartment and contacted a bystander who called local police offices. Balbuena was arrested by police and convicted by a jury on November 21st, 2023, of the first-degree murder of Patino Trejo, battery causing great bodily injury, and assault with a deadly weapon against her mother, the DA said. You are such a douche canoe. Following Balbuena's sentencing, supervising senior deputy district attorney Melissa Suttner said in a statement that they, quote, pursued justice for the victim's family. Zaria Bantillo Trejo was such a vibrant young woman with a bright future, Suttner said. We cannot replace her unimaginable loss, but we can pursue justice for Zaria and her family. We hope that this sentence brings some small relief to her family, knowing that Erin Balbuena is held accountable for her brutal murder. Look, I'm not saying that the 33 years is terrible, but I bet that punch felt good. You know that scene in Kindergarten Cop where the principal brings, teacher John back in after he knocks the crap out of that dad who's being a jerk face, trying to keep it family friendly here. And he thinks he's going to get all in trouble. And he's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it. And she says, I just have one question. And he's like, I know I did wrong. And she's like, how did it feel to punch that SOB? Now, allegedly, that is my mood. So I'm just saying, if I got to interview someone, I would say, how did it feel to punch that SOB? Because not only did he unalive his stepdaughter, and let me tell you, when you accept a bonus kid into your life, at least for most people, that bonus kid is yours. Most people that I've ever met, that bonus kid is yours. You accept them. They're just like your kid. And his wife, oh, hell no. So I'm ending off with that. Look, do not do anything illegal. Do not do anything violent. I am going to send you guys over to the Treehouse trial with Baker. I hope you had a wonderful time. I know that he had his birthday stuff, so he may be a little tired. I don't know how long that stream actually went. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay warm, and I am cooking up some new things, so we are going to have some interesting stuff going on this channel, some new things I am working on. Hopefully the squirrels will let me work today, and I will be able to get a whole lot done for you guys. I will try to do a Newsy News stream. Now, it's going to be a surprise, but it should be a funny one. Have a great day. Bye, guys. And let me get the doodad for the intro, and bye.